Um, Avengers Endgame is a sequel to the Infinity War, and after the devastating snap from Thanos, which destroyed half of Earth's population and turned half of the Earth's population into dust, and the original 6 members are the only Avengers that survived. And now they must come up with their own game plan to confront Thanos, and we have the movie Avengers Endgame. And I'm going to keep it like that because if I speak more on the plots and synopsis, it will go into spoiler territory. Just basically saying that this movie was structurally different from the first Infinity War. How Infinity War was structured, it was more of a fast-paced, action-packed film with action sequences scattered throughout. This film was more of a story arc revolving around its characters. It focused more on developing character arcs and giving their characters their true purpose. Avengers Infinity War was more like Star Wars. Endgame was more like Logan, if that makes sense. We did a really good job of breaking down our characters, and it's quite similar. I'm going to compare a certain tone of this film to a controversial film from 3 years ago, Batman v Superman. There were a few similarities in BVS in this film as well. For Batman v Superman, quintessentially, those two characters were already broken down to the ground level. And during BVS and Justice League, we've seen these characters rise up from the ashes, so therefore they can be on their pedestals and they can become their established heroes. Another thing with the MCU, with their characters were already established. They developed into their heroes, but they never were at their lowest point during their origin movie. I'm only referring to their movies. They weren't suffering. They weren't like on the brink of like destruction. But while you're watching Endgame, you see these characters at their lowest point. And most of the runtime focused on deconstructing their characters. And I felt, and some people won't like that. Some people think of it as a slow burn or boring. I felt like the film did a really good job of focusing on that. You feel like these characters are humans themselves. They're actual human beings with real feelings. You felt that. So therefore, when the audience is like gravitating towards a character, they can get emotionally pulled into that character's emotion. So when the character emotion is like suffering or suffering a loss or going through something that is tragic to their character, the audience will feel the pain. This Endgame was fucking awesome. I loved it. I saw this movie 2 times and literally I just can't stop thinking about it. And everything, this movie is literally 3 hours long, and this movie doesn't really feel 3 hours long because you're just captivated within each moment. In each, like, in the beginning of the film, the tone hits you brutally and perfectly. There are surprises in this movie I didn't see coming, and I just didn't see it, and I just had like a huge, so much stuff happened in this movie that I just really can't explain. But the action sequences were pretty good in the 3rd act, and it was amazing. And Thanos was amazing. He's the kind of guy who can torture you to death and give you a lecture, but yet you would still be captivated because his voice just resonates when he speaks. There are some things in this movie that happened that I disagree with. My main issue with this movie has to do with the pacing. The 1st act was slow. Then the 2nd act, it picked up. And like nearing the end of the 2nd act, going into the beginning of the 3rd act, there was another area in the film where the film slowed down. I was kind of wanting this film to pick it up. But the final conclusion in the 3rd act was epic, and I had a wonderful time. I'm gonna have to give Avengers Endgame fantastic. I had a wonderful time. I'm going to see this movie again. I'm sorry if this movie is vague as hell, but I just don't want to give you guys spoiler. I just cannot wait to talk about the spoiler review. There's so many fanboy moments in this movie that happened. There are so many things that happened that is phenomenal, and it's just, wow. I can't believe I just saw Endgame, and wow, it was brutal. It was hard to watch. It was fun to watch. I had a wonderful time. There's like so many emotions you have with this film. You will feel, you will be entertained. This movie, you gotta see this movie. Whatever it takes, you need to see this movie. Whatever it takes, you need to see this movie. Whatever it takes. So, all right, guys, that's my review of Avengers Endgame, and I will have a spoiler review coming very soon. Hopefully, I have it for you Monday. I cannot wait to talk about the guys. So if you like everything you see and you agree, subscribe to my channel and join me in the Batman family. I'll have more Batman-tastic reviews on the way. You have been warned. Till then,